Okay, in theory, I should be live. Let me tell people that I'm live real quick. I messed with my game audio settings a bit. Hopefully, it's not too loud or too quiet now. Um, let's see.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead.
Hello, Bryn. Welcome. Yes, it is the best, I assume is what you're referring to. Um, I kind of assume it is. Is the... What is it called? The flamberge, is that a... No? Oh, we're back. Okay, I should not be mid-rolling. I don't think fighting is necessary. At least, hopefully, if the stream answers the question. Let me move my microphone. Hope this isn't too loud. You missed your opportunity for what? Also, welcome, Danny. Welcome, I Like Goats. The other ones suck. I don't even know what other ones there are, to be entirely honest. Welcome, Dora GG. Or G... G-Gon? Dora G-Gon? um, Yeah, I don't know. I've never used any curved greatswords. I haven't even used the Murakumo, which is why I wanted to do this stream. Um, I just want to, well, because my roommate has been playing through the game recently and has been using the Murakumo and has been having a pretty easy time with it. So I wanted to try it out because I've never used any of the curved greatswords. Yeah, oh yeah, the server, that's right. Okay. I always forget that the server is a curved greatsword. Welcome, NB Lissimo. I think that's how you pronounce that. Okay, let me make sure I have a half decent weapon equipped for now. Oh, I forgot there are enemies here. Okay, what a great way to start this stream. By completely ignoring the game, looking at chat 10 minutes ago. A promotion channel? Yeah, feel free to use that. I love seeing what other mostly queer Dark Souls enjoyers create. It is kind of funny that most of my community is queer. Well, I don't know if most of my community is queer, but most of my community that I interact with and that goes out of their way to interact with me are queer. Um, so I have a pretty skewed view probably of my community. I don't know how many people who are subscribed to me, aren't queer, but I imagine that the majority at least are. Yeah, okay. So this is gonna have a very similar beginning to the Demon Spear run, since I'm just gonna go straight to uh, the garden, talk to Shiva, and then go by in Blighttown. Yeah, I used the Bloodhound Fang in Elden Ring, and that was actually really good. I wanted to do a dual wield curved greatsword run, and I ended up farming for the Omen curved greatsword, the one that you get from the Omen in Castle, in the Stormvale Castle. Jeez, um, but that grind was awful, and then using two was worse than just using the Bloodhound Fang. So Bloodborne made me gay. That's completely understandable. How hard it is. I mean, I just kind of assume that most people who watch my content are queer. You specifically, I don't know how easy it would be to tell. I only heard about the DSR move swap discovery because I've been talking to Minnow. Um, they were talking about it a bunch yesterday. Nito sword is great. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Gravelord Greatsword. It's such a terrible name. Um, I know that weapon is kind of, but I do want to do a stream with it eventually. Oh, okay, it has bad scaling. It has toxic? Huh. I mean, that might be useful against a couple bosses. You're straight, most probably. See, you're starting to doubt, though. Excuse me. Please don't kill me. I don't think I'm going to do anything special this run. As straight as the Murakumo. Extremely relatable. I don't think I'm going to use like RTSR or Power Thin. I'm just going to get the Murakumo up to plus 15 and play the game. Not really any reason to do anything else. I'll dupe for the Crest of Artorias as well. I mean, you're still welcome to do a Murakumo run. I'm not stopping you. It's not like everyone else in the entire world hasn't. I just wanted to use it because I know it's a popular weapon that a lot of people consider really good that I haven't used yet. Doubt less, actually? Finding your identity is always really nice, regardless of how straight you are. I'm gonna grab Grass Crest, actually. Just because. I like stamina. And I don't feel like running into the Great Hollow to get Chloranthy. I mean, the joke still works, I think. Oh yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing this run. um, there are a bunch of weapons in this game that a lot of people really like that I just haven't used. Actually, that's become less true recently just because of my streams. I've been doing, obviously a lot of different weapons in my streams. And because of that, I've used a lot of the weapons that a lot of people really like. But I've mostly been focusing on weapons that aren't necessarily used very often. This just happens to be one that I've been wanting to use. Copyrighted. Yeah, sorry. Nobody else can do a Murakumo run ever again. Well, at least until 50 years when the copyright runs out. The Giant Dad run, it'll happen probably. The problem with doing the Giant Dad run is I did the Chaos Claymore, right? And the whole thing with Giant Dad is that you're supposed to use the Chaos weapon so you can do decent damage at a lower level. But I'll do it. Probably not with Chaos because Chaos isn't great. At least not for a full game run. Right, now, yeah, I'm gonna dupe to get the crest and then run over to, what's his name? Shiva. I swear I know what I'm talking about. Playing this game is literally my job. Am I cool yet? I think so. The Chaos Claymore was unplanned, that's true. Come on. I swear I'm good at this. That's more than I need, but that's fine. Might as well get these and some of these. There we go. Nope, YouTube is the closest thing I have to a job. Hello, Geophyte. Welcome. See, I would have another job, but I can't for various reasons. First of all, the economy sucks. But there's also the whole autism thing that makes it really hard to get a job, especially in this climate. And with my circumstances, I'm able to do this full time, so it works out. How freaky is today's chat gonna be? Probably not that freaky. That is, I don't know anything about Elden Ring lore beyond, you know, like the basic stuff. So I can't offer any input, but that does sound really interesting. To be freaky is to be free. It is true. The dismounter? Isn't that an Elden Ring weapon? Question mark. Yeah, but why would I dump all of my stats into endurance when I can just soul dupe and get even higher stats? and more damage. A suppository. No, not like that. Okay, I believe you can just mash through Alvina's dialogue. I used to be scared of messing up Alvina's dialogue, but then I learned you can just mash through it and it's not an issue. I think that is the 4th or 5th time I've been called Freaky Pellets. Alright, talk to this guy. Well, yeah, but you got a min-max giant dad, you know? Using normal giant dad is boring. Welcome, lamb. Welcome, toast. I dropped my phone. Okay, we're good. It was on the edge of my desk instead of over on the charger, because I forgot. Um, do I want to grab Wolfring? Yeah, I do. Pardon me. Solar Freaky. That one's new. That one's definitely a first. Uncle Big. Yes. I am no longer planning on doing a giant dad run. It's gonna be Uncle Big. Why did your Instagram account get suspended? What? Yeah, it is extremely useful getting Wolfring like that. I don't think I've gone the normal way to get Wolfring since I figured out that skip existed, just because it's so much faster and so much easier. Jeez, why is my throat dying? Probably because I haven't drank any water recently, and my most recent hydration was milk. Extremely racist and hateful. Well, don't bring that here and you should be fine. I think you're supposed to die instantly if you fall there, but should be. But, you know, either they forgot to put a death plane or that was intended. I don't know, because you do die in a lot of other places. That's not a super specific, like, skip, but, you know, you can't fall anywhere around there. I only do skips because, like, I've played this game so many times that it doesn't really change the experience for me. Like, I don't know. If anything, it makes it more difficult a lot of the time because if I want a weapon in Orlando, say I'll have to do Send Skip and fight the Iron Golem super underleveled and then go through in Orlando super underleveled. So I just use it to add more uniqueness to each of my runs. They look sick. That's entirely fair. That is a good reason. Freaky with the hydration. Yeah, that's why I was drinking milk. Godofroy is Etherean. um, assuming that there was only one definition of Therian, and it's the one that I know. That is funny. Okay, I should probably dupe souls before getting down into Blighttown, but it's fine. A lot of the skips are actually really easy. They're just kind of not difficult to learn, but like they take a lot more attention than what you would normally do, right? So like the skip that I did to get to the wolf ring was super, super easy. There's basically no way to mess that up unless you drop in a completely different area or you get hit by the frog ray, which is mostly kind of chance at that point. So solid matter into Sense Fortress. I do that frequently. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your time here. Hopefully I don't die on my way to Shiva. That would be disappointing. I don't know. Send Skip is not one of the harder skips, but it's one of the harder skips that I do regularly. Like, I don't know. The skip to get to the wolf ring, again, is super easy. um, I'm trying to think of ones that I do regularly. Like going through New Londo, that's not really a skip, but it's close enough to a sequence break, right? Because Dark Souls. That's pretty easy too. I don't know. Though something like soul duping, I only do to cut out like grinding and stuff. Or, you know, to get to weapons earlier, like I'm doing now. Oh yeah, the depths clip. That's what probably my favorite skip in this game, actually. Oops, sorry. Don't mind me. Just getting some souls. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I like, well, I mean, you have to do the Quelaag fight either way. Oh my god, go away, please. Stupid. um, you have to do the Quelaag fight either way, because you need to go down to the Bed of Chaos. But, Sun Skip just lets you, or the way I use it, lets me get things earlier than I would be able to otherwise. I didn't know you could get the Flame Brush from here. Where's, do I have to kill him for the Murakumo? Oh. I didn't know that. That's... Wait, I thought he sold it. Do I have to do something to get him to sell it? Huh. Well, this might end horribly. I should back up my save. Because otherwise, this probably will not end well. Yeah, okay, you'd have to kill him. That sucks. I had no idea. I genuinely thought you could just buy it from him. I thought it was like 15,000 souls. I don't know what I was thinking of. Maybe the claws? Because the claws are also exclusive to him. Well, I mean, Murakumo isn't exclusive to him, but I don't know why I thought he sold it then. Yeah, I don't want to farm giant skeletons. That's why I did the whole Shiva thing. Okay, bonk. Bonk. Okay. Oh, okay. And now I do the strategy that I used for um uh Mildred back in my nothing run. 19 strength to two hand, yeah. And I know it was pretty high. I think it's 28 strength to one hand, right? Oh god. Okay. That works. So far so good. Oh, and he's poisoned. He's not even immune to poison? Imagine. Imagine being bad at the video game. I should equip shield. Okay, this should be fine. Nice. One more should be enough. Even if he doesn't fall, I should be able to survive until his poison kills him. Welcome, Vivi. Don't worry about it. I stream. I mean, I didn't stream for an entire month. So, if that's what you're referring to. I think you've only missed two, actually, since last time I saw you. Just like you. Okay, come on. No, 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 no. Just fall. Just fall. Just fall. Just, come on. Okay, die to poison then. Either way. Just die. Come on. There we go. Easy. We are still goobing. Actively goobing on stream. That is almost definitely mid-roll. Yeah. Hopefully this will be light roll? No? Okay. What shield does he have? I actually have no idea. The iron round shield. We always be goobing, exactly. For me tempers. Is gooping the best joke? I guess, yeah. It's also definitely the most consistent. It's a medium shield, but works as a great shield, but not in PvP? That's interesting. Um, what other? I mean, being freaky constantly is kind of a running joke, right? Does that count? Oh, I grabbed bones. What am I thinking? Okay. Gonna get to requirements, I guess. Um, might as well. Okay, requirements and get myself in some endurance as well. Just so I can not mid-roll. Alright. Actually, going over 27 strength is kind of pointless. Does it have dex scaling? It has B dex scaling? Oh my god, I forgot it was a great or a curve sword. Yeah, being freaky constantly counts. Hello, Cass. Welcome. I've never understood the vitriol for dex. Like, I've seen jokes from people who, or from strength users who hate dex, quote unquote. And I've also seen jokes from dex users who exclusively use dex. And I've never understood why the community is so split on that. But I also feel like there's a lot of overlap because most people just make both jokes. Or it might be that people who started with later games like Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne just prefer dex most of the time. I don't know. I'm a strength user, so I don't know how true that is. It kind of depends, because, like, well, yeah, I guess it kind of depends, because, like, dex weapons are generally faster. That's not true as a rule, but generally. So it's like, like, it's because dex builds are twinky. I don't know if you mean, like, twinky in terms of being high level, or, yeah, fighting low level characters as a high level, or if you mean twinky as in, like, literally a twink. But I'm going to choose to believe that you mean literally a twink. Both. Okay. That's also fair. Quality wins? I mean, but quality has higher leveling requirements for decent damage. Dex is seen as more flamboyant. Okay. Okay, you know, that makes sense. What's wrong with being a weeb? Okay, not terrible damage. I just like big numbers. Though, if Dex gives me big numbers, I am also okay with Dex. My first playthrough was with Claymore, and then Black Knight Sword. So I kind of just defaulted into being a strength user. The quirkiest builds. um, I don't know. I use weird builds a lot just because of like challenge runs and streams. We're using random weapons, but yeah, I don't know. Big man and gay at the same time. Right. Quality builds are for bears, is what I'm hearing. That's how that works, right? Okay, what's a strong attack? That's an attack. Okay. I'm not sure how this moveset feels yet, considering I've only fought a few enemies, but I think I'm liking it. A lot of startup, but not much end lag, which feels nice. People are just haters. It's true. A lot of like anti-cringe people or whatever. But to be cringe is to be free. um, the first time I used Dex was probably with the Scythe, which made me completely indifferent which stat I level because the Scythe is my favorite weapon, but I usually prefer strength builds, you know? Well, yeah, it's a curved greatsword. That's the cool part. The Balder side sword. Yeah, that's a really, really good weapon. Also very fun. I like the thrusting attacks. Yeah, quality weapons in New Game Plus. But to be fair, like, depending on the weapon, it's usually better to two-hand it. So you can... Oh, give me... You only need to level up your strength to 27 for the two-handed bonus to go to the soft cap. Um, but if you're using a straight sword that's quality or something like that, then yeah. I'm just gonna bone. I am become cringe. Bisexuals? I mean, it could also be that, but I feel like bear makes more sense. Well, it could just be both, really. Like, okay, I don't want to just like power level, but I think it is also kind of funny to have high damage. Yeah, this is my first time ever using a curved greatsword, but so far, I like it. I would like the thrusting, yeah, that's like the best part of the whole weapon. That's a good Plato quote. Yeah, true. Using quality for like experiencing a bunch of different weapons is a very good reason to use quality. But also, big numbers are cool, so, you know, buy bears, run quality. I've never, I don't get the love for the Great Scythe. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good weapon, and I totally understand having it as your favorite weapon. But it seems to be a lot more people's favorite weapon. I guess scythes are cool, actually. Never mind, I understand. Scythes are pretty cool. But then again, Bardishas, you know, pole axes. Big numbers and long reach. You get everything. Just don't miss. I guess the scythe also has that, huh? Never mind. But pole axes look cooler, so I'm biased. Rame? Hmm. That's a good point. I don't think Rame is a bear. The demon spear? Was it? Somebody commented something about liking the demon spear on the stream after I ended. Was that you? I don't remember. Multiple people did, I think. If a Rame strikes you as skinny ripped, I agree wholeheartedly. Let's see. That is not bad damage. Really weird. Or not good critical damage, but really, really good otherwise. Grey Scythe is really good, that's true. I feel like the Life Hunt Scythe is better, especially if you can offset the bleed. But to offset the bleed, you literally just put on like Blood Bite or the Blood Shield. So, very that imposing character. Okay, that wasn't you. Oh, okay. It was April, okay. That makes sense. No, wait, please. Oh, only Twinkling. Twink Titanite. Mailed the stake driver. Mailed? You mean mained? That was confusing for a second. Beast Claws. In Bloodborne, well, okay, pretty much every playthrough I've done has either been with the Hunter's Axe or the Ludwig's Holy Blade, I think. The one you get from the badge really early on. And I have done, or both, usually both, actually. It's a really good combo. The axe for the reach and then the sword for big sword. Yeah. No, I mean, the Life Hunt Scythe does like a lot of damage. I'd argue it's easier to upgrade just because you only need to get the, or you don't need to get the any chunks for it, right? And chunks are hard to come by. For the Demon Titanite, you just need to kill a few Titanite demons and then get the rest from Anne Orlando. So it's super easy to get to +5. And then, I mean, the damage is pretty insane. If I haven't, that's a good idea for another stream. Broccoli alien, but you know, that's completely fair. I wanted to use it at some point, but I just never did, I don't think. No, I didn't use the Kirk hammer. I know a lot of people really like the Kirk hammer, but I'm just not a hammer girly, you know? I'm more partial to big swords, personally. And also pole axes. Okay. Hopefully, the lower berg shouldn't be too difficult. If I die to Capra, I'm going to use Capra cheese just because I think it's funny. Where's the other one? There it is. Oh, hi. I was not expecting you to be there. That is a very slow startup, but I guess it's not that bad, especially for how quickly the her end lag goes away. Murakumo. Truly. Honestly, if you're not a girl who likes a big sword, I think that there might be something wrong. I don't know. Big hammers are cool, though. Who am I to shame? Oh, God. What's a rolling attack? That's good. There we go. I like how they just stand there. That's a really long animation for that. Unga Bunga build in Elden Ring. I like Unga Bunga build in Elden Ring until you get to the end of the game, and it gets like really, just because of how fast most of the bosses are. See, this is why I have Wolf Ring. Makes Capra easy. No, please. Yeah. No. I'm doing okay. What the dog doing? Dragon King Great Axe. I need to do a run. I need to do a stream with the Dragon King Great Axe. I love the Dragon King Great Axe. Okay. That is... Wait, was that not a stagger? I thought that was a stagger. That was really confusing. Okay. Less poise damage than I was expecting, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah, Melania and like DLC bosses with strength builds. I don't know. Actually, I feel like DLC bosses are a lot more... Why does that orange? What? Okay. Anyway. DLC bosses, I feel like worked a lot better with strength builds in my experience. I couldn't tell you why, but I used the Greatsword of Solitude through the entire game, or the entire DLC, and loved it. It was so much fun. And that's probably now my favorite weapon in that game. But like base game, I used Claymore. And, I mean, to be fair, I didn't use like, you know, Great Club or the Grafted Blade Greatsword or something. But like, the damage was good, but the movesets made it really difficult to use a lot of the time. Been able to see a boss exist outside the context of the fight itself. You mean like in Dark Souls specifically? Also like Big Hammer. I'm trying to catch up with chat a little bit. Okay, I feel like there's a difference between long swords and big swords, because like Sephiroth longsword, right? But not big sword. Smashing bosses with a charge R2 Colossals. That's very true. Having that one big number is really nice. Yeah, Wolfring is a godsend, and using or not using it in a run is always so disorienting. Okay. Depth's more like I'm gonna do as little as possible here. What? How did they miss? Okay, I guess I'm not really complaining. The dog gonna fall? It is not. Okay, should I plunging attack the rat? I'm gonna plunging attack the rat. Yeah. Good luck, Minnow. Hopefully you can get the Demon's Great Axe. You probably won't, to be honest. It's like a 10% chance, but if you're not doing a speed run, you can just back up your save or whatever. Should be pretty easy. Or not easy, but, you know, you don't have to worry about luck. That Sephiroth and Guts both satisfy the requirements separately. I see. I understand. I'm trying to think. I don't actually know how to get to the channeler from that direction, so I'm just going to go down and then around this way. And then I'm going to grab the large shard from here, and that will get me to like +8, I think. Actually, I might only be able to get to +7. I don't remember how many I have. I think I only have 2. Euphemisms. Yeah. Something depths. Right, hopefully I don't get poisoned. I really don't want to. The chainmail armor in Dark Souls looks so terrible. Like, chainmail is cool, and I think it looks um, cool in real life, but the chainmail in Dark Souls looks so terrible. Welcome, Frankie. Come on. Oh my god, I forget how far they attack. Yeah, there we go. The rolling attack is very good for how fast it is. Actually, that's true of the Demon Great Axe too. Or, I feel like that's true of a lot of weapons, having fast rolling attacks. Just because of the extra stamina cost or whatever. To balance it out. Yeah, they found a move swap in Dark Souls Remastered. And I think that's cool. I don't know if I'll ever use it. Oh, that sucks. I don't know if I'll ever use it in a run. Just because the reason I do a lot of runs is so that I can, like, learn a new weapon. But I'm sure eventually I'll use move swap and see what it's about. Debs on my undead berg until I get some of the abyss. Oh my god. Massive crush on Sephiroth. That's understandable. I feel like I probably would if I was more into men generally. The backstep attack? I don't think I've ever used backstep attacks ever in this game. But that's pretty good. That's pretty fast. Also, good damage on it, jeez. Yeah, unfortunately, the chainmail in Dark Souls can only be worn on its own. Well, does that count as triggering the dragon? It does. The dragon does damage? Or the drake, whatever. I had no idea. Don't get caught. Okay. I've died in that little bridge more times than I care to admit, to be honest. Yeah, backstep attacks are good most of the time, but they also feel extremely situational. Yeah, running attacks, rolling attacks, backstep attacks. They all have their uses, but I've never found a situation in which a backstep attack would be better than, say, a running attack or a jumping attack. Yeah, mostly PvP. True. How much time save? I could not tell you. Minnow would be a better person to answer that question for you. I genuinely have no idea. I assume quite a bit of time, though. It's been a while since I've done that. I usually just, or recently, I've just been kind of forgetting about Lautrec. But I want the bonfire. Yeah, backsteps are also extremely situational. Yeah, I'm just talking about specifically Dark Souls 1 and Chainmail. It looks so bad. Yeah, shield pokes are also very nice. I've been wanting to do a, what's it called? Hoplite build in Dark Souls for a long time, and I just haven't yet for no reason, generally. Who hasn't been showing up in chat? The goobering. Yippee. Yeah, I don't usually use a shield, but I think a shield poke build would be very fun to use. Hoplite is an enemy. It's the enemy from the phalanx in Demon Souls. They have the shield and they have the spear and they poke. Is Hoplite like an actual thing, or is that just a Dark Souls thing? Actually, I have no idea. Oh, Lautrec? Because I've just been forgetting about him. Well, I only call it a hoplite build because the enemies, they're in the painted world in this game, and then the phalanx enemies, they're called hoplites. No gooning zone? That is not true. This is a very gooby and goony chat. Yeah, stamina regen. The only problem is the Grass Crush Shield isn't super great for Hoplite, just because. Oh, I forgot to upgrade my stuff. Whatever. Just because the Grass Crush Shield doesn't have very good physical damage negation. I think it's only 95. A Greek-ish achievement? Okay, so it is real. I wasn't sure if that was a real thing or if that was just something from Soft made up. I don't remember where I heard Hoplite in terms of like the build first. It was probably, I don't know, probably Dmod if I'm being honest. Because I've known that for a long time, and Dmod was one of the first Souls creators I started watching. I haven't watched Dmod in a long time. Yeah, the lore of Dark Souls is really good. Dark Souls 2, in my opinion, has the best lore. I don't know how shared of an opinion that is, but I really like Dark Souls 2's lore and how it handles it, especially compared to Dark Souls 3. Not that I dislike Dark Souls 3's, I just happen to prefer the way Dark Souls 2 does it, and its stories and stuff that Dark Souls 3 just kind of ignores a lot of the time or completely changes. This damage is not bad for a +5. Not great, especially for the speed, but it's definitely not bad. Probably, well, I don't know. I'm at like 20 stamina, huh? Oh, God. Oh, no. No, wait, please help. I'm dead. That sucks. Lao. Your cat. Oh, it's stepping on the keyboard, I see. The soup bowl lady? Oops. Who's the soup bowl lady? Have a good night. Sleep well. I have done Ricard's Rapier. I've done a lot of weapons, actually. If you don't see... Actually, I might have edited down the Ricard's Rapier stream. I don't remember. But if you don't see a weapon that I've used in like a video, the live section has a lot more. The spider spoo. I still need to do a lot of NPC quests in Dark Souls 2. I haven't done Ben Hart. I haven't done, what's her name? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot her name. The girl with the mask. S-Talk has a... I didn't know the S-Talk had a different kick attack at all, honestly. Hi, Phalia. I think that's how you pronounce that. Dark Souls 2 has difficulty communicating its mechanics. I don't know how true that is, because like for most people, they fail to understand how it works, and that could be the game's fault. But I also think it has a lot to do with how people go into the game and are expecting things to work from Dark Souls 1, on top of like not willing to do that experimentation. I feel like Dark Souls 2 just expects you to experiment, right? Rather than just telling you outright how things work, generally. Yeah, Lucatiel, yeah. Thank you. The streams are always very, very mature and normal. Always. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Okay. I will not die to Quaylike this time, I promise. Yeah, Majula is probably my favorite video game hub, just generally, not even necessarily for a FromSoft game, but just generally. I really like Majula. A Dark Souls 1 player going to Dark Souls 2. Decide what kind of build you want to do. I mean, it's not like imperative that you figure it out before you start playing. In fact, I'd recommend going in as blind as possible. But understand that ADP is not a requirement. It is a way to build your character, right? So instead of treating ADP as something that you must level because you need iframes, think of it more as a way to specifically build for dodge rolling rather than, you know, using a shield or whatever. Also, expect it to feel different. Dark Souls 2 is a lot more reliant on how you build your character than Dark Souls 1 is, and also has a lot more build variety. And not even necessarily build variety, but just differences between builds. Like Dark Souls 1 has a lot of build variety, but a lot of builds are very similar to each other, while in Dark Souls 2, that is very much not the case. All builds are dramatically different compared to how similar they are in Dark Souls 1. But go into it not expecting anything similar to Dark Souls 1. Well, I don't know. In terms of... There are similarities, and it's good to recognize those, but also don't expect similarities, I suppose. Yeah, it's a lot more RPG than Dark Souls 1 is. Dark Souls 1 is a lot more ARPG. Dark Souls 2 is a lot more ARPG. I need to heal, just in case. Because I do not want to die to Quelaag again. Hey, thanks for the damage. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is... I love Dark Souls 2. But it is the most polarizing for a reason, right? It does feel very different from Dark Souls 1. Not in a bad way, in my opinion. Just different. That was scary. I thought she was going to land on me. Probably wouldn't have done much damage, but still. Just kind of trying to focus. Sorry, I'm not reading chat. I really don't want to die to Quelaag a second time. Yeah, positioning is extremely important in Dark Souls 2. Like, it's important in Dark Souls 1 in a lot of respects, like, especially with a fight like Quelaag, right? Where, like, you can easily beat Quelaag hitless without rolling. I've done that multiple times, especially if you have high enough damage. But in Dark Souls 2, like, a lot of the things, especially early on, expect you to not need to roll or to only roll to position rather than rolling to avoid the attack on its own. Just to play with the Elan katana and hated it? As in you hated Dark Souls 2 or you hated the katana? Yeah, I don't know. Just don't expect Dark Souls 1. Power stancing. True. Power stancing is like the coolest part of Dark Souls 2, I think. Not necessarily, well, I don't know. Aesthetics are also really cool. There's a lot of really cool things that Dark Souls 2 did that Dark Souls 3 got rid of. And then obviously like power stancing kind of came back in Elden Ring differently. You can change your build really easily. Dark Souls 2 has respecking, whereas Dark Souls 1 does not. But it's a not like rare item, but rare enough that you definitely shouldn't be like changing your build after every boss or whatever. Don't worry too much about picking a build and doing your best with it. And then if you don't end up liking it, you know, you can easily switch off of it later, just not too many times. Dark Souls 2 is the strafe game. Like Steel Katana users are devoid of joy. I love the atmosphere of Dark Souls 2. I think Dark Souls 2 has the best atmosphere of any of the games. Yeah, rapiers are very good in Dark Souls 2. Aesthetics would be so nice, like even in just an Elden Ring, but God, I wish there was a mod to put aesthetics under Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. That'd be super awesome. Aesthetics are great. You want Dark Souls 2 back? Yeah, I don't hate Dark Souls 3 anymore, but I definitely do not prefer it to Dark Souls 1 or 2. Okay, so the thing about the ceaseless strat is you need to come all the way over here. It's easiest if you do it on your first attempt, where you grab the armor set, and then you have to run all the way back to the fog wall. But you specifically have to have made it to that end of the arena. So if it's your second time coming in, you need to run all the way over back to where you get the armor set, and then run all the way back, and it should work every time. What's wrong with Dark Souls 2? Like, I know it's different, and there's no reason. Like, there are reasons to prefer the other games to it, but I've never understood Dark Souls 2 hate. Yeah, I mean, I replayed Dark Souls 3 recently, obviously, for that video series, and I understand why people like it. It's just not my thing. Yeah, I don't know. The pace isn't necessarily the bad thing. It's how they use the pace more for me. DS3, my little baby. Yeah, Scholar is just better, in my opinion. Between Vanilla and Scholar, like, Vanilla just has nothing. Like, there are so many areas that look like and feel like they should have enemies, ambushes, items, stuff, and just don't. And then in Scholar, they put stuff there, and then people complained that there was too much stuff in Scholar. I don't know. I'll never understand that. Let's see. I'm going to be a little bit conservative with how many souls I use, because I'm not sure how many I should actually see. You know, my brain didn't even register the fact that they called this useless cheese out. That's not important. What's I don't know, the levels in Dark Souls 2. I think Dark Souls 2 has the best level design of the series generally. But I mean, I did those videos on the level design of the game and talked about how much I liked it. So yeah, aren't they gonna call Dark Souls like Dark Ring or something? Oops, excuse me. Yeah, as a fellow arachnophobe, I completely understand why you would prefer to use a torch. What? I actually didn't reach. No, I did reach this Shrine of Amana in vanilla, but I don't remember it. I've been meaning to do a playthrough where I go through vanilla and then go through the same area in Scholar. Probably in the same format that I did the Dark Souls 3 videos and also the other Dark Souls 2 level design video I did. I think that'd be fun, but I don't know exactly how to format it because I don't know if I should like, I don't know. I don't know what order I should do it in. Like, should I do an entire area and then do that same area in Scholar? Should I do a chunk of the game, like several areas, and then go through it again in Scholar? Should I make the vanilla and Scholar videos separate videos? I don't know. But I do definitely want to do that run at some point. Sorceries feel bad in Dark Souls 2? They feel the same as Dark Souls 1, don't they? I had the exact same, or for me, they feel the same as in Dark Souls 1. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 does definitely have iframes on those animations. They're just very, very different and very, very less than Dark Souls 1 and 3. Thank you for joining while you could, Vivi. Hope you enjoyed. Oh no, wait, this is bad. I need to be more careful. Okay, I say as I get obliterated. The Seaman of Dong, my favorite Dark Souls 2 boss. I hate the start of Dark Souls 2 and 3? What do you mean? Like the tutorial sections or like the first couple levels or like getting your build together? I've never understood the dislike for the like crazy world design of Dark Souls 2. That's one of my favorite parts of it. Going up an elevator at the top of a windmill and coming out in a giant lava lake is so much fun. I love that. Just the first like chunk of levels or whatever. Okay. I'm not gonna die this time. See? What do I say? I was expecting to backstab. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, right. So I forgot sorcery used stamina in Dark Souls 2. That's probably the biggest difference to feel, I would assume. Generally, I'm decent at running through sends. I've done it like literally completely naked so many times with no weapons or whatever. And it's not that hard. I just mess up for no reason sometimes. Here we go. My timing was off. I'm definitely gonna have to quit out. From feels sounds like a brand of Viagra pills. That's really funny. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is very much more about positioning than and like yeah, going around and away from attacks rather than through attacks. Yeah, I also definitely prefer attunement slots. I understand why people prefer FP just because it allows for a certain amount of strategy and flexibility that you don't get with attunement slots, or I mean with like spell uses. But I feel like spell uses just feel better and actually force you to use spells that you wouldn't otherwise. Like using your strongest spell for your entire FP meter is a thing that I very much fall into in Dark Souls 3. Especially if, you know, lower level spells don't one shot or whatever, like my higher level spells. But with the spell uses, that doesn't really happen, obviously. I don't know. I feel like setting up the build in all 3 games is kind of my favorite thing. I have a run that I got like halfway through it in Dark Souls 3, but the entire first like couple hours was just setting up the build, and then once I got the build set up, I just kind of fell off the run super fast. I do want to finish it. I do want to make that video, but it's hard. It's not hard to continue playing the game, but after how fun it is to set up the build for me, it's just not that great to be using my completed build for the rest. Go from soft to hard. My estradiol has the opposite effect. Yeah, unfortunately. Progesterone has helped a bit, but not as much as I would have preferred. Progesterone made me a bottom, I swear to God. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 looks incredible. Dark Souls 2 is probably my favorite looking of the trilogy. After my first year of HRT, I kind of just asked my care provider, hey, can I be on progesterone? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I got pretty lucky with that. Didn't even have to worry about dealing with getting approved for it or whatever, since I'm going through Plume instead of like standard healthcare, which is definitely preferable. Right. The cumulative health loss made me unreasonably frustrated. That's understandable. I do get that, but I don't know. I don't dislike it. I think it's better than like Demon Souls system, for instance. And it also, in my opinion, is better than Dark Souls 1 curse. I feel like if they had used a curse status effect, and that was the only thing that could actually drain your health, but it was more prevalent than it is in, you know, Dark Souls 1 or whatever, I feel like a lot of people would have had a lot less bad time with it. Like if most enemies dealt curse damage or whatever, and it only drained your max health a bit, instead of dying, draining your max health a bit. I need to get chunks. I should go get the very large ember, actually, real quick. Just so I can have a plus 15 for incidence mo. A cool mechanic and makes it feel very dangerous and terrifying. But at the same time, I know a lot of people really dislike it. So using a different system in a different game, I feel like I know Dark Souls 2 Curse doesn't kill you, right? But it also has the same effect as dying, where it's like a permanent health loss. Yeah, and effigies are pretty common too, especially compared to... I don't know, actually. I feel like effigies and embers are pretty... I actually definitely prefer the system in Dark Souls 2 to Dark Souls 3, just because Dark Souls 3 is an instant, what is it, like 20% health loss or something? And Dark Souls 2 is gradual and feels a lot less bad. Yeah. Petrify is separate. I forgot about Petrify. Yeah, okay. Dark Souls 2 gender change ring. I mean, there's a Dark Souls 2 gender change coffin. Better than progesterone. Get in the coffin. Your gender is being changed. Um, okay, controller feels you you have a lot more control with keyboard than on controller, or with controller than on keyboard rather. Just because with keyboard you only have 8 directions that you can move in. You also don't have like analog movement, right? You can't walk this slow without holding a button down on keyboard, and that makes it a lot more cumbersome. The attack inputs also are a lot more cumbersome, though I guess that's something you can get used to, but it's mostly just not having the analog movement that makes keyboard significantly more difficult to use. Like, yeah, if keyboard is more comfortable for you, definitely use keyboard. But if you haven't tried controller yet, I would highly recommend trying it. For gesture tombstone. So, yeah. Embering in Dark Souls 3. I like that bosses give you your ember back. That's about the only good thing that Dark Souls 3 does compared to Dark Souls 2. God, if Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 2 killing a boss um, removed your curse, that would be so much. That would be awesome. That's like the one thing that Dark Souls 3 does better. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 has the ring that changes your walk cycle. I don't remember what it's called though. When it comes to like the whole controller versus keyboard thing, I'm very, very biased because I've always played on controller. Um, so controller just feels a lot better for me in every scenario. Like I play first person shooters on controller instead of keyboard. Like it's a little bit harder to aim, but with everything else, my mind just clicks so much better. Um, on keyboard, I genuinely just can't like get my mind around how to move. Like I know how to move and stuff, but it doesn't translate to my hands as easily just because I've used controller for so much more. All right, thank you for joining while you could, Finn. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, the reversal ring. Good time rimming Sky. I feel like Sky is more commonly a non-binary name, right? Like just a name that a non-binary person would choose for themselves. I don't know if that's baseless, but it definitely feels more non-binary than, you know, otherwise. Controller girl for life. Yeah, it is a lot more ergonomic too. I do also have carpal tunnel, which is another reason the short amounts of time that I do, I just can't get used to it as well. Flat plank with letters on it. I mean, to be fair, the mouse is a lot easier to aim with in a lot of scenarios. Sky is similar to an object, right? But one of my pronouns is it, right? But I'm still feminine. It's just a feminine it. So non-binary is different from it, right? But I guess that would make sense for the correlation, and that's why non-binary people use it, because it's hard to ascribe a specific gender to an object, like the sky. Especially, I mean, I feel like most of the time the sky ends up being masculine in like mythologies, but it also does feel feminine in a lot of ways too. Mouse aiming is objectively better. Yeah, probably true. But controller, it just feels so much better. Manually aiming sorceries, that would be true if manually aiming in Dark Souls 1 worked. Okay, I'm gonna level up a bit. I need dexterity. I need damage. Yeah, like a leaf, lake, river. I've known non-binary people with those names. I don't know. It's easier for my brain to map actions onto controller buttons than keyboard keys. I mean, I know it works well, or it works consistently rather, but it's just so different from any other aiming system that it doesn't feel great, in my opinion. was kind of hoping for a one-shot, but I guess I'm only at +10. And not at soft caps yet, so probably shouldn't be too terrible. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never really tried free aiming sorceries and stuff. It's probably a lot more useful for PvP, though. I should get the slab. We'll get the slab after. Go down here. Infinity Drain? Who made an Infinity Train? What is Infinity Train, actually? I have no idea what that is. Is that a movie? I feel like that's a movie. Why need aim when big strength weapon? To be fair, you do kind of need to aim strength weapons in Dark Souls too. Roll attacks aren't the most useful in that game, unfortunately. The short series, okay. Manual sorcerer aiming. Somebody recommended manual bow aiming, and I tried it, and like it's not even that it's difficult or whatever. I just cannot. My brain refuses. I don't know. I think that could be a fun follow-up to my bow only video, but I also want to do crossbow only as well. All right. I have learned a new, or I've rather been taught a new strategy. I don't know why I always get that. There's no reason to. I never use it. I've been taught a new strategy to get on top of the ghost house without dealing with too many ghosts. I've tried it twice so far, and it's worked both times. So I'm inclined to believe that it's relatively consistent. But I guess this will be another test. There's a trans analogy named Lake in it? Oh, and okay. Okay. It was not an intentional reference. Manual great bow run? No, thank you. I do definitely want to do a great bow run as well. I think all three, bows, crossbows, and great bows, would be fun to do, but I don't know. Eventually. Alright. So, you quit out here. Keyboard in one hand and controller in the other. You're just holding the whole keyboard with one hand. You have to stretch your thumb real far. Nope, we're back. Welcome back, Finn. I don't think I was trying to get rid of you. Playing Dark Souls, one of the baby in a blender. Didn't somebody do that? Was it, I want to say it was Barons. I don't remember. But I do remember something like that. Keyboard holder gang. Which, okay, so you come up here. You don't necessarily need to grab that, but I do because it's useful for Seath. And a heal for safety. And then you just sprint to the ladder. And all the ghosts that would normally attack you on the ladder get attracted to you when you go up to grab the item. And it seems to work just fine. That's the third time I've used it flawlessly. Minnow taught me that one, and it seems pretty consistent. Playing Dark Souls 1 using a girlfriend as an input method. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed. Okay, I'm like 90% sure you can jump over this. I don't... Voice commands? No, thank you. Okay, I might get attacked on my way through. That did happen last time I used this. But it seems like I'm okay. How exactly do you do inputs? I don't know. Women have inputs. Okay, true. Women do have inputs, but I feel like the output is more important. You know? Girlfriend only run. I don't know. I feel like I would do a mouse and keyboard run, but I don't think that'd be very interesting. Just because I would be playing worse, and that's it. Like, there's no indication of the challenge, right? So, like, bow only, you can see on screen that I'm only using a bow, and that significantly affects the gameplay. But when I'm using just mouse and keyboard, it's like, oh, okay, you're just playing worse. Cool, I guess. That's a really fun challenge run, them. I should try that every now and then. Arcade sticks run. A Dark Souls run, but you have to use fighting game inputs to do any actions at all. Okay. Gotta use the smash box. Okay, now I just need to grab the chunks. That was scary. Pardon me. Okay, I'm gonna quit out so that they stop chasing me. A 360 for a roll. Use phantom hourglass inputs where you swipe on the screen to attack. And then you roll at the edge of the screen to roll. I love Phantom Hourglass. That's just such a good game. Yeah, my internet does that, and I have no idea why. It's usually not that bad. I don't know if it's extra bad today or not. I love that I immediately mess that up. Konami code to parry. Oh god. Yeah, Phantom Hourglass is great. I love Phantom Hourglass. Connect Dark Souls. Hasn't somebody done Donkey Kong Jungle Beat? The inputs are mapped to the endings of different FromSoft games. I feel like that would just be a lot of Sekiro. Sekiro has, what, 4 endings? So to move each direction, you have to do an ending in Sekiro. The S-Talk to see the kick attack? Okay. Zero Lenny did Jungle Beat bongos? Thank you for the offer to kill the Dark Wraith, but unfortunately I must do this run on my own. Okay. S-Talk. Kick attack. Oh, that's strange. Interesting. I had no idea that had a different kick attack. For Dark Souls 1 and 2. Okay, I had no idea. I knew he did Dark Souls 1, but I didn't know he did Dark Souls 2. Hold back and hit forward as soon as the attack connects. I'll third strike to parry. You gotta be blocking and then let go of block as the attack connects to parry. Had perfect blocking too, though, to compensate. I didn't know rapiers had different kick attacks at all. Any of them. I knew the curved swords did, but actually the Murakumo doesn't, huh? And normal curved swords do, not curved great swords, it would seem. Okay. Oh my god. Why do I suck at parrying these guys? These are like probably the most difficult enemy for me to parry, and I have no idea why. Yeah. I only knew about the curved sword kick attacks. I had no idea that rapiers did also. Oh, you have to hold back to block. Okay, I see. I like rapiers in Dark Souls 2, but I've never really used one in Dark Souls 1. That's not strictly true. I actually did, I mean, obviously I did Rogieres that one time, but I also did up to the gargoyles with the normal rapier because a friend was struggling on that fight. I just wanted to see how difficult it was because they did have it at +5 and everything. The normal rapier doesn't seem great. Ricard's rapier made you feel fruity. The swag sword? What's the swag sword? How many chunks do I have? 5, okay. The last one is in front of the giant blacksmith. I need souls. I have enough, probably. Balder side sword, okay. No, that's a straight sword, but it has thrusting on the R2s. Must be carrying her cards at all times. Relatable. Um, yeah, I don't know. Ricards is really fun. I've used a little bit of Velkas actually. I think a stream with Velkas would be interesting. Um, just because the oh, we're back. It disconnected. I wanted to run with Velkas just because I know it's not super great with split magic damage, but getting it would be really interesting. And then its damage is decent enough to beat the game with. So, the normal rapier wasn't great when I used it, but I also only used it for a little bit. Same with the S-Stock, actually. Okay. I'm going to upgrade this to plus 13, and then go get the chunk, or the slab, rather. And then go to Orlando. Reinforce. Wait, modify, right. I forgot. I know what I'm doing. I swear. I have 800 hours in this game. Almost. Okay, perfect. The whip? I did a whip run. It was just a normal whip, but I did a whole playthrough with it as a edited video. I actually really like that run. That was really fun. The whip is good. My Ricard instead. Ricard is very fruity, I agree. Enchanted or magic? It depends. I think magic has less scaling, but more raw magic damage, while enchanted has better scaling, but less raw magic damage? Question mark. Velka's is your favorite weapon in the whole game? Is it just because of style points? I knew the S-Stock and the Rapier were different, but I didn't remember what the difference was, to be honest. How different is, like, the damage on them? I would consider, yeah, about ONS mid-game. Or up to, like, 2 or 3 of the 4 lords. I don't know, I guess it depends if you consider DLC end-game or post-game. Yeah, style points. Oswald on estrogen would be unstoppable. Okay. Also, I learned that... I'm getting water because I haven't drank anything this whole stream. I learned that if the Torch Hollows follow you into the Stray Demon Arena, they won't actually attack you in the fight, which is extremely useful. Pardon me. The S-Talk is the Claymore of Rapiers. I'll have to do runs with both of them then at some point. I'm drinking water, it's okay. Yeah, so these guys just won't attack me, as far as I know. Last time I did this, they didn't anyway. So, no, they lied to me. They've betrayed me. This is tragic. Can't believe this has happened. Oh, that works. I wonder if they can attack the boss for me. That'd be funny. Dang, this is a really hard fight. A freak for hydration. Yeah, like I said earlier, that's why I was drinking milk before the stream. Probably not great for my voice, but gotta be freaky. Velkas are in? Oh, okay, yeah, I did say that. I do plan on doing Velkas. If I remember, which hopefully I should. I'll do Velkas next week. There was another weapon I wanted to use. I know I want to use, like, boss weapons. Dragon King Great Axe will definitely be in my list. I should probably actually make a list so I don't forget things. Milk is bad for your voice because the fat can, like, not clog up your throat, but it can stick in your throat. And, you know, phlegm. It's mostly just phlegm. I was totally expecting that to kill. Jeez. It's not, like, bad for your voice overall. It's just bad because it can cause phlegm and make it hard to talk for a little bit. Stray Demon is one of the girls, yes.
play more main hand, stock offhand, huh? I haven't done a spell sword build in a while. Last time I did that, I used Moonlight Greatsword, which is probably one of the worst weapons you can use for a spell sword build. Anything with innate magic damage is probably pretty bad for a spell sword build, just because you can't actually buff it. And crystal magic weapon will always be better than innate magic damage, pretty much. Unless you're using, like, I don't know, most things it'll be better. Just drink milk when you don't have to talk for 3 hours straight soon. Personally, I prefer whole cow milk. Goat milk, I don't think I've ever had, actually. I don't know if people just like drink that normally or if goat milk is only used for cheese. I mean, I'm sure some people do drink goat milk, but like the majority of the time. I don't like almond milk. I've never had soy milk. No. Yeah, buffs in Dark Souls 2. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is good for that sort of thing, but for Dark Souls 1, innate scaling is, or innate damage is the whole milk, all of it? Yep, all of it. All the milk in the whole world. I like Moonlight in Dark Souls 1 and 3. I haven't used it in 2 yet, just because I haven't done Benhart's quest, but I do want to. I drink milk on its own sometimes, like especially, oh, excuse me, if I'm having like if I'm eating something relatively dry or sweet, like a cinnamon roll or a pastry of some sort. Cinnamon roll came to mind just because that's what I've had most with milk. Or something like if I'm having a Pop-Tart or whatever. Milk's great on the side for that, but can I beat Dark Souls with only oat milk? Benhart's, well, I know if you kill Benhart, you get the fake Moonlight Greatsword, but I thought if you did his quest, he gives you the real one. I had no idea. Wait, Moonlight has an AoE? I know it has a long-ranged attack on the strong attack, but I didn't know it had an AoE. It was really fun in Dark Souls 3, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be good in Dark Souls 3. It was fine, but it was really fun. New game plus Freya's. Oh, okay. Okay. I need to start doing Dark Souls 2 runs. The main reason I don't is just because Dark Souls 2 is so much longer than Dark Souls 1. But eventually I do want to do like Dark Souls 2 streams and stuff. Dark Souls 2 looks terrible. What do you mean? I'd argue it looks better than Elden Ring and Bloodborne and Sekiro as well. Yeah, the Dark Moon Greatsword in Elden Ring is really fun as well. Okay. I'm just gonna run past the gargoyles. I don't feel like fighting them. Everything looks plasticky? I definitely disagree. I don't know. I also really like how the original Demon Souls looks. Like, obviously, I'm not going to argue fidelity-wise that it's better than the remake, but I just think it looks better because of the vibe, and I think that goes very much so for Dark Souls 2. I don't really care about fidelity. The art style is just so good. I love the art style of Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 looks so terrible just because of how gray everything is. I really do not like how Dark Souls 2 or 3 looks, are they? Dark Souls 2 looks really good. I've been saying that. Pardon me? Demon Souls is dark? How low did you have your brightness? That's not an experience I've had. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 looks really, really bad, like fidelity-wise in parts, but generally I just think the art style of Dark Souls 3 is pretty bleh. Oh, nice. One shot. Actually, I wasn't expecting that. I was gonna do Dark Souls 2 with spears, But then Tori did the Dark Souls 2 spear backstep attack. And like, I wanted to do the Dark Souls 2 spears run because I wanted to get into doing Dark Souls 2 runs. But especially right after Tori did her backstep attack one, I don't know. I don't even remember. I think I was going to use the Partisan because it had S scaling or something. Color was banned in Dark Souls 3. Did I go too far? No, okay. I looked away from the screen for a second and I got really confused. The Majestic Greatsword? Like the Moonlight Greatsword, you mean? You need to two-hand it for the AoE. Huh. Well, I two-handed it for most of the game, so like... I don't know. Oh, right, I do have a free ring slot. I didn't even think about that. No reason not to, I guess. Artorias' Greatsword? In Dark Souls 2? I didn't know that was a thing. The flower skirt? I have a vague recollection of what you're talking about, but my brain refuses to remember what it actually looks like. I don't understand why people like the goob ring so much. Like, I don't know, it's useful, but only if you don't have anything else to put in one of your ring slots. Like, for most builds, Chloranthy ring is going to be better, right? Which is when the goob ring really shines because it has percentage-based scaling. But like at that point, you're already going to have decent health and stamina, so like, just use something else. I don't know. Okay, now I can get this to... What chunk am I missing? Oh, the Greatsword Black Knight. Okay, gotta go kill Ornstein and Smo with a plus 13, I guess. A Chloranthy ring IRL. I have a goob ring, and I had a Havel's ring in real life. Like, some knockoff one that I got for like 15 bucks. But the Havel's ring doesn't fit me anymore. I really like the goob ring I got, though. I wear it almost every time I go out, along with my trans flag ring. I don't think I've ever used any of the hide weapons at Dark Souls 2. I know at one point I wanted to use the hide sword, but I didn't because I didn't feel like fighting a bunch of hide knights at that moment. Yeah, true. You know, goobring is worth it, if only to make the joke. There we go. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Not the best damage I've ever had, but certainly not the worst. Smo, please do something. Jeez. Just menacingly walking towards me while I'm trying to attack Ornstein, so I can't do anything. This is really fast, actually, for a greatsword. That's really fast. And 2 hits to stagger? Who knew that one of the most popular weapons in this game was actually really good? Just standing there, menacingly. Plus 5 vitality of Petrus misgenders you. Oh, but Petrus misgenders you. I see. It's true. Oh god. Please stop. Please use better attacks. I need to be a little bit more careful, just so I don't get hit by the butt slam again. Goobring is good early game, if you don't soul dupe. That killed me? From full health? What? Why did that do so much damage? Does it do more damage on the outside than on the inside? Was it even in question that Petrus was a transphobe? I didn't even know that was a question at all. He's also just weird and creepy. So Petrus is probably a chaser too, honestly. Trans ring allows you to double. It gives you plus 5 vitality and... Okay, hopefully it stops cutting out. Jeez. That shouldn't have been counter damage. Whoa, hi, Ornstein. How are you? I wasn't in an action. I was just walking towards him. I also wasn't expecting it to hit from that range, which is why I was walking towards him in the first place. Okay, Smo, you can stop protecting Ornstein now. I'm sure he doesn't need it. Yeah, there we go. Oh god, the lingering hitbox. Okay, we're good. I like this headcanon of Patches. I think that's true. He doesn't do it to be mean. He just genuinely thinks he's funny. Ooh! Went all the way around. Jesus. Okay. This is fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. Smo, please. Why? Look, it's not my fault that my internet sucks. It's usually a little bit better than this. Oh my god. Can you stop doing annoying attacks, please? Just let me attack you. Ugh. I already died to you once. That's enough. My whole Dark Souls career is falling apart in front of my eyes. I'm doing terribly against Smo. Not even Ornstein and Smo. Just Smo. Oh god, I was genuinely expecting that to kill. See, that did less damage and I was, like, coming out of a roll. So that, if anything, that should have been counter damage, right? I don't know. Whatever. Smo does have pronouns, yeah. Ornstein and Smo are both gay. Petrus. Yeah. Petrus is your average Republican. Hating on us during the daytime and having it be the most searched term on certain websites. And during the night. Patches would sell you homebrewed HRT. Probably true. Someone's. Look, Dark Souls is the closest thing I have to a career, to be fair. The bitrate should be fine though. I don't know why it would be pixely. Okay, first and foremost, obviously Sif. Proud of pronouns. I mean, that's why they call it pride, right? No, this is the closest bonfire. I forgot. I need to go get the trunk real quick. Undead with a hard D. Yeah, Skyrim, it just works, you know? Pride as when Smo nouns. Fruit punch? It depends. Are we talking about, like, being fruity? Or, like, actual fruit punch? Both are yes. But the amount of yes is dependent on, like, the kind of fruit punch we're talking about. The trolls of her husbands. Undead. I mean, yeah. All the undead, obviously. Or at least all the male undead are masochists. They have masochism. Uncurably. Why is being fruity unfortunate? Skyrim sure is a game. I think being fruity is pretty great, honestly. I'd rather be fruity than not. Like it when the fruit punch you. That makes sense. Masochists liking Dark Souls does indeed make sense. Being fruity truly is a blessing. I don't know. I'm lucky because this is the closest thing I have to a job. But, yeah, when I actually worked, I didn't pick up the slab. Will it still be there? You know what? It's not worth it. I'm just gonna give myself a slab from DSR Gadget. It's fine. Let me actually do that. I can't believe I forgot to pick up the slab. That's not, like, I know I forget things a lot in this game, but that's definitely a new thing that I have forgotten. I don't think I've ever forgot that before. Lost and found chest? No, you have to pick something up for it to be in the lost and found chest. And it specifically has to be a key item. There might be exceptions, but generally key items. And because it was never in my inventory in the first place, no, it won't be in that. If I can remember how to use this. Upgrade materials and Titanite slab. Create. There we go. Okay, I now have a Titanite slab. Everything's fine. There we go. Did I buy? I did, yeah, because Murakumo. Close enough to a key item. I mean, yeah, but you can farm them. You can get infinite of them. So, but like the key to the seal will never appear in that chest, even if you don't get it, because it doesn't drop as an item, and then you can't like pick it up and then lose it. So like that's one of the few. I don't know. Just go watch. Sorry, Wall's video on it. He explains it better. I spent like 13 hours, I think, playing Skyrim in a few days, and I got to the Dwemer Ruins, I think, and I just gave up there. It was not holding my attention enough. I enjoyed doing one of the guilds. I don't even remember which one, but it was really easy and kind of monotonous, despite enjoying it somewhat. And then I just kind of gave up. Yeah, you can do the Konami code next to Andre. Yep. That's definitely what happened. Okay. Dexterity. Morrowind is significantly better than Skyrim. I do genuinely like Morrowind a lot more, but it's also a lot harder to play a lot of the time. Yeah, it's a game I want to like because a lot of people really like it. I have a lot of things like that, things that I just really want to like but can't. I mean, there are like Elden Ring is one of those things. Like I enjoy Elden Ring and I have a lot of fun with it sometimes, but a lot of the time, like I know it's my least favorite of the FromSoft games, and for a lot of people that's just not true. But I want to like it because I know a lot of people do like it. The last great Bethsoft RPG. I mean, Oblivion was okay. I definitely understand liking Skyrim, especially if you're into the roleplay stuff, but roleplay just, I can't get into it. For me, it's a lot more about the mechanics, and Skyrim mechanics don't feel as good as Morrowind mechanics. And also, I think Morrowind has a much cooler atmosphere. So, like, yeah. It's not even that monotony is bad. It's just that I got tired of it eventually. Pardon me. Just, oh, come on. There we go. One shot with an R1? That's not bad at all. Whoop-um. That was not the noise I meant to make. I meant to say whoop-pow, but whoop-pump I think is funnier. I'm gonna die to the water. Where's the other one? Oh, hi. Welcome. Goodbye. Dang it. I told you I'd die to the water. Yeah, I wish I could get into roleplay. The only game that's ever made me cry was Moss, and that's a VR game, which made it a lot easier to get immersed into the game. So, lots of railroading in Skyrim? I mean, I don't know if I'd call it railroading. There is a lot of, like, telling you where you should go, but in terms of, like, forcing you to go somewhere, it doesn't really do that. Crying is hard. It's true. Well, I don't know. Estrogen made it easier, but I played Moss before I was on estrogen. So I'm currently crying because I died to the Hydra. Alice, do you have more estrogen in your body than testosterone? That might be part of it. Fallout New Vegas is actually another game that I want to like, but I just can't. For me, first of all, I don't get into the roleplay, obviously, but the gunplay feels so stunted. It feels like a turn-based game trying to be an action game, and because it doesn't really commit to either, it feels not great in my opinion. And it's either bad gunplay or walking simulator, and that's the whole game. And like, I like walking simulators a lot of the time, but I don't know. New Vegas just does not do it for me. I could not tell you why. I really want to like it. Like the trans girl game, you know, but not my thing, unfortunately. I need to not die to water this time. Of all the things to die to. I thought gravity was the final boss, not water. There we go. Ugh. Wait, no. Hold on. Hello, Ferret Jester. Welcome. Last time I cried to media at all was Assassination Classroom, and it was like the third time I watched it. It was the first time I watched it after taking estrogen, and I cried a lot at the ending of that. That's a very good show. I want to watch it again. What the? Okay, hi. I didn't. That's a lot of damage for an R1. Jeez. I wasn't expecting him to, like, use that attack there. That is good damage. Only cry when you have to kill the asylum demon. Understandable, honestly. It's weird to think about how long ago I transitioned. Because like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long. But it feels like it's been my whole life. I don't know. Like me pre-transition doesn't feel like me anymore. Oh, it's dead. Cool. Just do the asylum skip. How do you even do asylum skip? I know there's one where you kill the asylum demon and then quit out before it actually counts as killing it. But isn't there another one where you can like plunging attack onto the asylum demon and just like clip out or whatever? Like you're just on the roof. Yeah. I think about my childhood a lot. Not a lot, but every now and then I'll think about my childhood, especially when I have experiences that mirror ones that I had when I was younger. And like, it sucks that I didn't get to have, or I didn't get to experience being a child as who I wanted to be in the first place. But I also didn't know that I wanted to be who I am now. So it's like, I don't know. It's not really something I can grieve. It's just, oh, that would have been cool. But I know a lot of people do like grieve not having that experience, and I understand that for sure. I know a lot of people also will like see themselves like as they were like as if they were hidden in their old selves, right? But for me, I just genuinely feel like a different person. I don't look back at who I was and think, yeah, that's me. I think, oh, that's a completely different person. I don't know. I think it's fun to talk about and think about. Yeah, this is a very accepting place. Please feel free to talk about, like, I don't know. Don't bring down the chat, I don't think. But if it's topical and something that you want to talk about, and if you're not, like, comfortable talking about it on the stream chat, I also have the Discord. There are places where you can talk about that in my Discord. It's very accepting. I've done my best to keep it as accepting as possible. A lot of the people there are very happy to talk about that sort of thing. There are spaces specifically for it if it's not topical. So, you know, therapist is lesser than trans women. True. It's true. Yeah. Dark Souls trans women are just better talking. I don't know. Unironically, therapy didn't help me much. And it's not like, oh, therapy doesn't help me. It's like the therapy that I tried wasn't helpful. And then after therapy, I tried other things that I learned how to help other people, and that just helped so much more. So, didn't miss all that much. Okay. I don't know. It's not even just that. It's more, I wonder what it would be like to have lived as who I am now for longer. But I also don't think that would have been possible in my childhood, obviously, for various reasons. But, you know. trans women are better. It's true. Just generally. Okay. I've been trying to beat Dark Souls with a single crystal weapon, so like no repairs, no upgrades. Like with just one crystal weapon, and that was the last time I fought Sif, so I was constantly trying to use strong attacks and stuff. So that was a very, very easy Sif fight. Therapist crawled so trans women could run. Online trans women especially. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that one specific therapist was bad, but also, or bad for me and my needs, but also like, it was just the fact that the therapy itself wouldn't have been helpful. And I know there's more than one kind of therapy, and I only tried one kind, but I don't know. Like I said, talking to people and trying things that other people had tried was just so much more helpful in that way. Yeah, also, it's therapist's job is to understand how you feel, but I already understand how I feel. So having someone tell me how I feel doesn't do anything. Um, What's a good weapon? What's a fun weapon in Dark Souls 2? I'm trying to think. What was my most recent playthrough that I thought was fun? Black Knight Halberd is really fun in Dark Souls 2. Highly recommend that. Yeah, also being autistic and being in therapy, like they work for some it works for some people, but just with my specific flavor of autism, it doesn't work perfectly a lot of the time. I swear I can talk. My whole job is talking. I should know how to do this by now. Yeah, therapy is good. I specifically the therapy I tried, I think it was ACT or something. Um, yeah, it is a lot more helpful for people who don't constantly think about how they feel in themselves. Yeah, yeah. Autism makes it different, I think. For me personally, anyway. Eating toxic metals autism? I thought that was just pica. Yeah. Anyway. Lead, my favorite. Personally, I prefer aluminum, but aluminum isn't super dangerous, but it's also like really bad if you ingest it, as far as I know. Oh my god, of course. Starting off strong. Some good attacks. Ooh, actually good damage. Wow. Oh my god. Stop using the worst attacks you have, please. I'd really appreciate that. No. We're fine. I think good. Grass Crush Shield probably saved me there. Okay, I think the second one's already spawned. It has. Hi. Ouch. Come back. Okay, we're good. Plutonium is a very good snack. Here we go. 3 kings. 4 kings are probably my favorite of the 4 lords. Seath is easily my least favorite by far. Just because it's so boring. Nito is fine casually, but in runs where like you don't level up stamina, or I mean health rather, Nito is awful. Just because dying in 2 hits from the skeletons is so annoying. It makes the run or the fight just so much more tedious because you have to be so much more careful. I've been dying to Nito a lot recently. Not even necessarily in challenge runs, just generally. You ate a quarter once. Truly a changing experience. 4 queens kissing would be so much better than 4 kings fighting, honestly. Okay, damage is good. Vitality time. I need to place the Lord Vessel before I forget. Seath does have rancid vibes, that's true. That's a very good reason to hate Gwyn. Or Seath. Also Gwyn, probably. Okay. Yeah, the weapon that everybody ever has used and has considered a good weapon is a good weapon. Who would have thought? I should do Seath next. Gwyn has even more rancid vibes. Yeah, at least the Gwyn fight is somewhat interesting because it's funny to obliterate the final boss with a couple parries. I used to only play Dark Souls 1 up to like Ornstein and Smo and maybe a Lord or two, but with doing challenge runs, you know, obviously I had to finish the game to like actually make a video on it. And now even when I play casually, I like finishing the game just because it's for me, the enjoyment was kind of a hump that I had to get over. Like at first I didn't enjoy it as much as the first part of the game, but then once I started playing it more, I started enjoying it about as much. Yeah, I've used the two-handed blocking to dodge the stab in the last couple of runs I've done, because there was I dropped down, healed, and he immediately used the ground stab attack, and I just did not have time to like roll, so I just held the block button and dodged it, and I've been using it ever since. But yeah, it's mostly the skeletons that make Nito annoying to fight in certain runs. Hump? Yeah, exactly. Seath gives off transmed vibes. You know, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking more like just straight up conservative, but I get that. Yeah, Seath is also just sexist. I mostly listen to YouTube videos too, I understand. But it was mostly, I think the last stream I used it in, and then the one, maybe the stream before that? I don't remember. I think the Dark Sword run was the first one I used it in, and I don't think I showed it in my most recent actual video. Seath is a pick-me. Yeah, Seaths and copes. Alright. Hopefully a bit of chaos doesn't take me too long. In my most recent run, I skipped Demon Fire Sage and Centipede. I like most of the areas. I like pretty much all areas in this game, actually. It kind of depends, like, on the context, because in terms of just running through the areas like I do now in most of my playthroughs, Duke's Archives is probably my least favorite. But in terms of, like, experiencing and exploring the area the first time, or just exploring it generally, the Archives is easily my favorite. But, like, the Tomb of the Giants feels really good to sprint through because it's nice to know, oh, actually, I know this area pretty well, or well enough to run past it. But exploring it is extremely difficult. So it really depends on the context, but I do really like all the areas in this game. I think I would rather find a roach. Okay, we're back. 1,000 roaches or a person. See, I have entomophobia. I think that's the insect fear. So I would definitely hate the roaches, but I think I'd prefer the person, actually, unironically. Hopefully it stops disconnecting. I don't know why it does that. Because, like, when I'm playing online, it has no issues. It might just be an OBS thing, but I've messed with my settings a lot, and nothing has changed that. I don't know. I might set up a private stream and just mess with my settings until it doesn't do that anymore, but it might just be an internet thing. Maybe if I bring down the latency, instead, like, do normal latency instead of low latency, but low latency is so much cooler. See, there's a detransition grifter. He went from trans to transmed, but he detransitioned, quote unquote, so that he could get money and claim that real dragons have scales. Is that why I find Seath so boring? Because I have pronouns and he just dies instantly? The stream, the internet can't handle the Seath discourse. It's too much. Yeah, I don't know. Like, for instance, I really like Lost Izalith, and I don't understand why people dislike it so much. Um, like the field of bounding demons is pretty, ugh. Um, but after that, like I feel like the bounding demons are more there to just steer you in the right direction, and from there, like the actual level part of Lost Izalith is really good. I don't know. I really like Izalith. Demon runes too. Like, it's kind of just a straight path with a lot of enemies, but because this game doesn't really have much of that, I think it works pretty well. He cannot hang with the Kuel. I don't think anyone would want him to. But I guess that's why he can't, huh? But Bed of Chaos is good. I still don't understand Bed of Chaos hate. As much good faith discourse as I've had with people who hate Bed of Chaos, I will never understand why people dislike it so strongly. Alright, come on. Don't just run away. That's rude. Also, the double R2, while it is extremely slow and probably never useful, beyond, you know, Demon Fire Sage, it is a very cool looking attack. Gwyn crawl boss too close to the sun. Gwyn is just like Icarus, but instead of flying, he girl bossed. Seath is not invited to Bed of Chaos' sleepover. Slumber party. Bed of Chaos is annoying? I mean... annoying? It's different, I guess. And if you're not prepared for that, I guess it can be kind of frustrating to learn, but I don't know. Oh, true, yeah, it is a Bed of Chaos. Sorry, no slumbering, my bad. You only have to go to the Dark Garden for Sif, and it takes like, what, 10 minutes? At most. Including the Sif fight. Also, once I learned that you could just do that to get the Centipede Demon here, instead of having to wait for him to walk all the way here while throwing his arm at you, like, what the hitboxes. It made the fight a lot more fun. I don't dislike Centipede Demon. Just because of how quickly and easily you can lure him to the platform. It just kind of removes any of the difficulty and annoyance of the fight. Difficulty is an overstatement. It removes the annoyance and, yeah, monotony of the fight. Oh my god, stop doing this, please. Yeah, there we go. I need some chaos in my bed, to be honest. I always forget that you can summon Solaire for Centipede, honestly. The bed of freaky chaos? I don't know. I don't think I've ever used any of the other platforms to fight Centipede Demon. Do I have armor that I can wear? Probably not. Oops. Yeah, that's mid-roll. I guess I'll probably equip this, actually. Yeah. Don't need Murakumo to fight the bounding demons. Does your actual resistance matter in the lava? I actually have no idea. Because I know it doesn't do, like, percentage-based damage. And, like, the damage increases in New Game Plus. So that makes me think that your... ouch. That your resistances do matter to some degree, at least. But actually, I have no idea how much. Aggro. I honestly also never really bother with NPCs most of the time, just because, you know, I do playthroughs like this, where I run through the areas just to get to the bosses, just to, like, try out a weapon or whatever. But Yeah, that's our guest room. It has our bed of chaos in it. So dumb. Bed of chaos does have shackles. Bed of chaos gets freaky. Bed of freak. I feel like there's a funnier way to do that. Funnier way to add freak to the bed of chaos, but I don't know what it is. The freak of chaos. Unfortunately, I am not funny. Instead of bed of chaos. Wait, what if the bed of chaos was happy? What if it is? I don't know. I feel like... Are there any bosses in this game that could be considered happy, or at least content? I don't know. Maybe Taurus Demon is just hanging out. England. Why'd you go AFK? There are other enemies there. Oh yeah, Priscilla, true. I didn't think about Priscilla. Capra Demon is just kind of hanging out too. Huh. A guy with the 2 pups. See, now that we've talked about being freaky, just saying 2 pups is different than just saying 2 dogs. A ravenous dragon? You mean a gaping dragon? I feel like it would be hard for gaping dragon to be happy, actually. Iron Golem doesn't count. The Iron Golem isn't sentient. Sapient. Sentient? Sentient. Yeah. Iron Golem isn't sentient. To be fair, if we're going by that, actually, the Taurus Demon probably isn't either. I can't know which one I have because my roommate handles that. But that would be, I don't know. It would take a lot to do that. A new router could help because we're just using the one that the ISP gave us. The Los Angeles Puppy Girl Google Docs. Yeah, the Gaping Dragon is hungry. And also, like, eats sewer stuff, which I feel like, you know, might not be the best. My answer to what got cut off? Oh, the ISP thing, right. My roommate handles that, and also, I don't know, it would be very, very difficult for us to get one right now. But a new router. We're using just the one that the ISP gave us, so a new router might help. The Gaping Freak. I feel like Ceaseless Discharge, the name is already freaky enough, you know. What other boss names could be turned into freak easily? I feel like Gaping Dragon is also already freaky enough, to be fair. Seath doesn't deserve to be freaky, unfortunately. Seath? I don't know. I feel like Seath would be happy if he wasn't insane from the immortality thing. But because he went insane, I feel like describing Seath as happy wouldn't really work. Freaky discharge. I like that even less. Freak of the Abyss. Oh god. Honestly, that's better than Father of the Abyss because it's gender neutral. And Manus just makes sense as a non-binary person, you know? Okay. Perfect. Now I just need to not die to the beard. Perfect. Now I need it to not Firestorm. Which is pretty rare, especially after already using one. Okay, yeah, we're good. Perfect. The 4 freaks. Freak Demon could be used for all of the demons. Just all of them. Freaky Witch Quailang. Okay, Duke's Archives next. The Moonlight Freak. That one's good. I like that one. Vitality. Cool. I have some survivability. Need to re-equip my weapon. There we go. Freako. That's so much better. Half freak Priscilla. Her mom was a freak. Her dad was just a normal guy. Freaky like shrine. You know, each stream is kind of defined by a bit. Last stream was the slab day or whatever, being slabbed up, and this one has very quickly become freak, which is funny. I like this one. Well, no, it's only valid if you use fist, right? Because fisting a boss, that's not using your fist to kill a boss is harder than using the weapon. So it's not like I used another weapon to make it easier. So I used fist only. So return the slab. Isn't it? Didn't that happen because I got 2 slabs somehow? Because the loading thing, or the way the game loads things was weird. Murakumo was the freakiest weapon. I don't know. The long spear had a lot of innuendo opportunities that people very much took advantage of. Freaks archives full of animated women. The fertile pygmy. I just looked back and saw that. Oh my god. That's good. That's funny. There we go. The double slabs from the Dark Rays. Oh yeah, I forgot about that happening too. Crazy how there have been 2 runs where I've accidentally gotten 2 slabs. The server? I guess it depends on your what would it be? Your dom or subness, right? Server would be like in that range. But if you are not into the whole dom sub dynamic, then I feel like the server would not be super freaky. While the long spear, you know, that's a innuendo for everyone. I really wish this one shot. Are these guys resistant to slash damage? I feel like that's probably why. It's true. It does. Oh, excuse me. It does serve. But like, if we're talking about being freaky specifically, not being fruity, you know, like the server is arguably the fruitiest weapon. But the freakiest? I do like that little run forward that the strong attack has. That is very nice. Cool. On the freak meter. Where would I be on the freak meter? Probably pretty high, to be honest. Freakstein. You mean... I don't think there's a way to add freak to Smo. Because Smo is the one... I mean, I guess Ornstein does sit on you in the second phase, huh? They both sit on you. The Notched Whip. I don't know if it's called the Notched Whip. But it is in Dark Souls 1. You get it from the Painted World by killing Jeremiah. Executioner Freak. Smo the Freak, I think is the best you could do. The Freakcutioner. There are so many ways that could go, and I don't want to think about any of them. Oh, you know, I have a rare ring of sacrifice. I should put that on. Just in case. Actually, now I just don't need to worry about it. Do iframe or do backsteps have iframes? I actually have no idea. This would be a good chance to figure that out. It does not seem like it. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think they have any. Seeth's Goon Cave. Is that why there are crystals all over the place? Only with flip ring. Okay. That makes sense. Ew, thinking about the crystals like that. That completely changes everything. I hate that. The crystals are only here because Seath got freaky. It's J.O. crystals. Enemies have weird iframes, like especially the dogs. They just kind of like move sideways and then have iframes. It's really annoying. With whom? By himself, obviously. This- I'm sorry. I thought of it and I had to subject you to the same pain. You- all the crystals. Oh, and all the books on the ground. Those aren't books. Aftermarket goon. Don't say that. Oh, the Pasakas. That makes sense. Demon Freaky Sage? I think that's a first, no? We need to get Vadi on the crystals being Seath Goon. Goob. Seath Goob. Yuck. I do not enjoy this this train of thought. For the articles. Is that why the what is it? The Sears catalog is in here too? Gotta read the articles in the Sears catalog. See what the sales are like. I read Centipede Demon as I was taking a drink of water. That was the worst possible time you could have said that. Okay. Jesus. That's not what goob means all the time. Only sometimes. I mean, that's why the Ring of Favor and Protection is called the goob ring, right? But not all the time, because sometimes we just be goobing. See this gay and a nerd. um, Backstep is mostly only useful for PvP. I don't think I've ever used it in PvE. Twilight on the bookshelf. Yeah. Logan started reading it and couldn't handle it. He wanted to transition but didn't know that was a thing. One of those isn't a tentacle? I sure hope not. Look, the Pasakas are very obvious, hear me out, right? Can't be them for being Team Jacob. What a terrible reason to get bullied. I think Freaky Sun Gwendolyn works better. It just rolls off the tongue better. Yeah, I think Pasaka's being a hear me out comes up at least once a stream. Sometimes multiple times a stream, which makes up for the times that it doesn't happen on a stream. I am happy to be your favorite. Thank you. Twice even. What are other obvious hear me outs? Like in Dark Souls specifically. Because the Pasakas are obvious, yeah. But are there any others that are obvious in Dark Souls specifically? Or at least Dark Souls 1 specifically? The setup for this run actually took a bit just because of the routing that I did, so I didn't get to Orange Dance Mo till like an hour 15 in, which is half an hour longer than it usually takes. So Freak King, same energy as Sneak King. I see. I agree. That's a good point. Oh, true, Quaylag, yeah. I don't know. Quaylag's like not weird though. Like most normal people won't be like, oh yeah, Pasaka's obviously. But most people are gonna be like, oh yeah, Quaylag, because titties, obviously. Quaylag doesn't feel like it fits the vibe. Have we gone over this topic before? For other hear me outs in Dark Souls 1? Like I know we've gone over other hear me outs generally, which is why I always bring up the Kezu from Monster Hunter. Jesus, I swear I can talk. I'm good at it. But I don't remember going through it for Dark Souls specifically. It is a fun topic, true. Yeah, we are normal. Everyone likes Pasakas. True, that's fair. The whole Dark Root Garden, the weird tree monsters. Manus? I don't know. Manus if you're into men. Um, yeah, like the Ents are literally using whips, so that's fair. True Asylum Demon. I can't believe I forgot about Asylum Demon. Um, say what's the frog rays? Not my thing, but I get it. I mean, look at that tongue though. um, the Stone Knights I feel like are kind of boring. Not really. Hear me out. Priscilla is also very normal, yeah. Um, hmm. The Phalanx or the hoplites in the Painted World. Bone wheels are my personal favorite. Hear me out. um, I don't know. Is the Dark Moon Knight us a hear me out? I think that's just a like a powerful, domineering woman. That's not really a hear me out. That's just something people like. The harpies? Oh, the crow demons. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Is that one a hear me out? I guess that's kind of on the same level as the Pasakas. They're dirty. Yeah, that's why it's funny. Every polycule has a Mildred. It's true. The wisps. Ugh. God, not the wisps. I mean, they do explode all over you, though, to be fair. Rebonded. Ugh. Are the clams? No, never mind. I'm not even gonna entertain that. Never mind. Oh, the butchers and the depths. Yeah. I don't know. They're kind of just on the same level as Mildred. I feel like, because Mildred is like she's a man eater, but like that's also why she's hot. I feel like the butchers are the same, just like a little bit further. The Titanite demon. Not my thing personally. Oh yeah, I mean they are literally unclean. That's why it's funny. They're disgusting. That is good damage. Whoa. Okay. I like this. I like this damage. You are a big woman with a big machete and not much else in line. Understandable. Personally, I prefer the snake sorcerers to the man serpents. The man serpent sorcerers to the man serpent, like, sword wielders. But yeah, definitely. Honestly, transmeds are some of the few people that it is entirely morally okay to beat to death. The Hydra? True, that's fair. Giant blacksmith. I mean, if you're into that. But that doesn't, again, that doesn't really feel like a hear me out. Kind of on the same level as Guinevere, right? Same with Goth. um, okay, Nido time. If only Seath knew about estrogen. Okay. Um, yeah, true. There aren't very many specifically feminine enemies. There, I mean, like there are the crow demons and the obvious like NPCs like Priscilla and whatever. Uh, Primordial serpents are definitely a very understandable. Hear me out. Mulan of ghosts. Again, it doesn't really feel like a hear me out, right? They're just kind of like women. I don't know. Ooh, Batwing demons is a good one. I agree. Not my type, unfortunately, but I get it. The one slime with multiple. Oh, the massive souls in New Londo. Definitely. I was thinking of bringing that up earlier, but forgot to. Excuse me. Koth, yes. Frampt, no. Frampt is a conservative. Koth isn't like exactly um leftist, but definitely left of Frampt. All right. Pinwheel. Frampt is are not a hear me out. True. I haven't fed framped anything since like my second playthrough. I sometimes forget that's even an option, and when I do remember, it's like, oh boy, 200 souls. Wisp incoming, whoever said that earlier. Be careful not to goob too hard. I just want to get a little bit closer to one of these. Oh god, never mind, it's not worth it. I was going to show off the Wisp's face, so I could explain why they are not a hear me out for me. But it's not worth it. They're very gross. Oh my god, please. I swear the rolling skeletons are harder to dodge than bone wheels. Bone wheels are easy to dodge now, after so much time. The ancient dragon? I feel like all dragons except for Seath are very good. Hear me out. I don't know if anyone's... I'm sure somebody has made a video with like the most attractive bosses and enemies from Dark Souls, but there is a tier list that is linked in my Discord, at least. Alright. Mask of the Father. I feel like I kind of have to at this point. I mean, I'm already almost done with the game. I might as well finish it off. But so far, it's definitely very good. I guess it doesn't really make sense to put it in perspective of the other greatswords for me, just because I haven't used, or curved greatswords, just because I haven't used any of the other curved greatswords. But so far, this weapon is very, very good. Pardon me. If I had the giant set, I would put it on. But, you know. Barely clothed hollows. There are some in Firelink. Or, like, in the Asylum. The dead dragon that spits poison? Okay, maybe not all the dragons are hear me outs for me. Smo is canonically a hot himbo. So is Solaire. Well, I mean, I guess Solaire is obvious, so. Oh, Sunlight Blade? I specifically wanted to not do any buffs, just because Murakumo feels like a very basic weapon. And using buffs takes a lot more thought into building. Oh my god. I'm so disappointed in myself. The bounding demons. Yes. But not the dragon torsos. That's understandable. I like how the bounding demons have a name as the bounding demons, but are literally just the back half of the undead dragons. Okay. I'm not gonna fall this time, I swear. I know how to make it through here, usually. And you just stick to this wall, drop down, right next to the bonfire. And then quit out before the skeleton beast gets here. The swirly giving demons? Swirly giving demons. I don't think I know what you're referring to. Oh, thank you for joining April while you could. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good night. Okay, I need to act like actually pay attention a little bit so I don't end up falling off again. I fell off. Oops. Chaos Eaters? I see. You know, I get that. That's fine. Any slimes that are clean in this whole series? I don't think so. There's one in Lunacid. Does that count? I mean, I know it's not souls, and it's kind of like not even tangentially related, but that's the first slime that comes to mind when somebody says FromSoft slimes. Just because it's based kind of on Kingsfield. And I mean, if you know which slime I'm talking about, the pink one, the pink slime in Lunacid, I think that one's clean. The slugs in Shrine of Storms? Those aren't slimes though, those are slugs, right? Or are they slimes? I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Demon's Souls. I need to play that again. You don't like what the Chaos Eaters do with their mouth. That is an incorrect opinion. Okay. I should equip humanity, just in case. Okay. Hopefully this shouldn't be too bad. You know you're badass at Dark Souls 1 if you specifically talk about which enemies you would want to have sex with. That's how you know you're good at Dark Souls. Ah, excuse me. Paladin Leroy as a baddie, potentially. I see it. Oop, okay. Well, that was a horribly timed attack. Okay, come on. Why didn't I reach that one? The other one is farther away. I probably could take Gwyn, but I wouldn't want to. Gwyn is one of those men. Where it's like not even worth considering. As a certified lesbian. You know, it's weird because I just started, or I recently got in a relationship with a gender fluid person, which has been really strange because like sometimes they're my boyfriend, but like I consider myself, and we're back. Being a lesbian and having a boyfriend is funny to explain, and then of course other partners make fun of me for it. You're good at Dark Souls when you turn off the computer and go outside? No. Touching grass is for cowards. Pet of Chaos would have the worst bedside manners. I don't know. It depends on what you want out of a relationship. Oh god, excuse me. Because arguably, Bed of Chaos could be the best in bed, you know? Really just depends on what you're looking for. Mommy Isolith. Hosed down and a woman. Well, see, but women, you know? Like, I understand bisexuality, but, like, women, you know? I just, can't really see myself changing my opinion on that. What? Why didn't that work? That's so messed up. Okay, probably the worst hitbox Nito has, which is saying a lot, to be fair. The grab attack, I mean. Okay, let me out, please. Ugh. Great opportunity to heal. Very based. Yeah. See, sometimes I get good damage. If I can actually attack ever. Yeah, women. Exactly. It's worked most of the time I've done it. There have been a couple exceptions, and I have no idea why the exceptions were exceptions. So I could not tell you why it just doesn't work sometimes. Okay, come on. Oh god. Bad timing. No, wait, please. Everything's fine. Okay, one more strong attack should be enough, right? Oh god. Wait. The greed. It was worth it. Actually, that probably wouldn't have killed me. I don't know if you can count that as greedy. All right. DLC time. I probably went to Calamite tonight. Nito is not specifically weak to occult, no, but he is weak to blessed. Occult is for gods, and blessed is for undead. I think. The dangly bits are good? Question mark. I feel like it makes it really weird to just like not hit him when you're behind him, despite seeming like you're attacking him very clearly. I don't know. I don't. Oh, I feel like I don't like Nito's design. I don't know how much of it got cut off because I just reconnected. I feel like Nito's design, I don't like it specifically because the cloak makes it hard to hit him from certain angles. So I don't know. The sounds the dangly bits would make, like the clinking, the clanging of bones. ONS, Gwendolyn, and Gwyn. Doesn't it also work against Silver and Black Knights though as well? Yeah, Silver Knights. Does it not work against Black Knights? A Scooby-Doo sound effect. The running one. How do they make that sound? I've learned it before. I've simply forgotten. His swagger. Oh yeah, vamos. Be gone with you. You'll spoil my focus. With the worst microphone quality you've ever heard. It's so good. I love Vamos. Vamos is easily my favorite blacksmith. As much as I like Andre, Vamos is just undefeatable. The giant blacksmith is cool too. All the blacksmith in this game. Rickert is probably the most forgettable, but is also pretty cool. The best swagger in Dark Souls 1? I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question. I have memberships back, Anthony. I don't, like, if there's not a button there on your chat, there should be under all my videos, but I do definitely have memberships back. Vamos is so baby girl. True. What characters even have swag in this game? Because a lot of them are either really, really cool, but like not in swaggy ways, like Lautrec, or they just suck, like Gwyn. The most fashion savvy character in Dark Souls 1? The Dark Moon Knights, easily. Priscilla has swag. I don't know if I describe Priscilla as swaggy, but I respect it. Only Simone. Okay, this should stagger. Yeah. Not that it was very helpful because I don't have enough stamina. Best boss in the series, by the way. And I will not hear otherwise. Drip but no swag. Chester. True. I think Chester might be the swaggiest, to be honest. Like, he sucks, but I don't know. Like, how can you have a top hat and not be swaggy, you know? Chester's a lame? Yeah, I guess so. Priscilla's robe is 8k what? He also has like that like weird spin kick attack. And his crossbow is pretty cool. Doesn't he have the Avalon, actually? No, it's like a 3-shot, not like a... Or it's like a spread, not like a 3 in a row, right? Burst shot. The big ol' lame-o. Sanctuary Freakin', yeah, okay. Artorias, Knight of the Freak. Or wait, no, it's Abyss Walker. Is it... Knight? No, it's just Knight Artorias, huh? Knight Freaktorias. He throws a bunch of bleed daggers. Yeah, I agree. He is pretty awful. But Lautrec, I get it. I see what you mean. Freak Walker. Yeah, Freak Artorias is simpler, but the Abyss Freaker. He freaks with the Abyss. I think I can beat Artorias first try. I have faith in myself. I'm not gonna, you know, let my hubris take over. I'm still gonna hit the shortcut, but I think I can do it. The Abyss freaks back. When you freak into the Abyss freaks back. No, please. That's so mean. Please stop. Let me just go past. Okay, we're fine. Everything's okay. For all the times that I've fought, like, all the bosses in this game entirely hitless, I still get hit by them a lot. And I don't understand why I'm so inconsistent about it. What rings do I have on? I don't even have a second ring on. I didn't know I didn't even have a second ring on this whole time. I don't know. Hornet ring is probably the most useful. It would be wolf ring if being hit wasn't incredibly detrimental right now anyway. All right. I'm going to first try Artorias. Probably. With only 4 Estus. Gotta do it hitless. That's the only way to be cool. Night Freaktorius, the Freak Walker. Oops. Okay, we're fine. I need to be a little bit more careful about my attack opportunities. AA batteries. I was going to say my favorite group of content creators, but also it used to be me. But it's like not me, and it's weird. Okay, come on. Do something I can punish, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's good damage. I should be able to stagger. Okay, good. Pardon me. That was not a safe opportunity to attack at all. Yeah, games that like not only necessarily allow but encourage challenge runs, like Dark Souls, are pretty great. Everything's fine. That only happens to me with Sanctuary Guardian because Sanctuary Guardian is my favorite boss and also has so little health. Also hit this. I did it. Wow. But yeah. Murakumo, I don't think it has bleed. No, it doesn't. Also, A scaling in Dex. I didn't realize it got to A once you got to plus 15. Okay. Actually, that also happened to me with Romina in my first Elden Ring DLC playthrough. Hopefully that doesn't count as a spoiler. I don't think she appears anywhere in the lore before her boss fight, so that shouldn't be a spoiler. But really, really good boss, and I beat it first try, and I was so sad. Okay, none of them have bleed? That makes sense, I guess, because they're all pretty slow weapons, so it wouldn't make sense for them to have bleed, because they can't really take advantage of it. I don't know, the Scythe is also kind of slow. The Life on Scythe. Well, that also has a lot more bleed than anything else. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it feels good to beat a boss fast because, like, it means you're doing good at the game. But it also kind of depends because if the boss is, like, really fun and you don't get to experience it for very long because you beat it too quickly, I don't know. I love the Twin Princess. The Twin Princess are probably my second or third favorite boss in Dark Souls 3. I love the Twin Princess. The projectiles kind of serve the same function for me as the lightning in the Sanctuary Guardian fight, where without them, it becomes a very rote and not scripted, but like very boring, simple fight. But with the projectiles, it adds another layer that you need to pay attention to and makes it a lot less monotonous. Like, I don't like Artorias all that much just because it's so simple. Like, you dodge an attack, and then you attack, and then you dodge an attack, and then you attack. But with the Sanctuary Guardian, you dodge a string of attacks, and then attack, and then dodge some projectiles, another string of attacks. I don't know. It just adds that. It's not that much, but it adds that extra layer that really, I think, makes it a lot more fun. I don't think I'm gonna fight Calamite. The twin twinks, yeah. And they're twinks, which makes them even better. Gave up Langdell. That's understandable. Langdell is really annoying. Mushroom Man? Oh, Titan Souls, right, okay. Do you mean Obello? Yeah, Obello. Titan Souls is so good. I thought you said it first time you played Souls, and I was thinking, I couldn't think of a mushroom boss early on in any of the Souls games. God, Titan Souls is so good. I should play that again. That'd be a fun thing to stream, actually, hard mode. I don't know. Oh my god! Shieldering? Dark Souls 3 Shieldering? What ring are you referring to? I have no idea what you're talking about. That first playthrough of Dark Souls 1, see, I get that because my first experience with Dark Souls 1 was obviously unique to all my other runs, but playing through it now gives me such a different experience, but I don't think it's lesser, right? I just think it's different, and like having only experienced my first playthrough once, but having played it so many more times like this, it's hard for me to think of playing Dark Souls for the first time again, just because I enjoy playing it so much like this. You can get cursed during the dying animation before the "you died" text came up. So as long as the "you died" text is there, you won't get cursed. But also, the projectiles in Dark Souls 3, or at least specifically for the Twin Princes, if you're specifically just trying to avoid getting hit, I feel like adds a lot of variety to the fight that you don't get otherwise. Like the first phase, it's just really easy and kind of boring. Oh, that's not good. No. Okay, we're fine. I should have just quit out when I called the elevator up, honestly. All right. Oops. I don't think I've ever used Lloyd's shielding. In Dark Souls 3, I usually just use like Silver Serpent, Estus, and like, I don't know, that specialized. Depending on the ring, I think Ring of the Evil Eye or Pontiffs, one of the Pontiffs rings that increases your damage with consecutive attacks. FromSoft was cooking on the PS2. What's the one that isn't Kingsfield or Dark Tower? Was there another one, another FromSoft game on PS2? Also, sometimes I go down the Alvina way just to get up to this guy out of habit, but you can also just run up to the ledge and he'll run down, so you don't have to worry. A video where I make Dark Souls food. I don't think Dark Souls food is a thing beyond like Estus. I saw a TikTok where someone was making Dark Souls themed cocktails, but I don't think that would work very well. Yeah, one of the Pontiff's eye rings. Kuin. I want to say there was another RPG, not Ninja Blade, but I think that was PS3 anyway. Oh my god, that was an R1. Good damage. Okay. I am not complaining about this damage. Please don't use this. I hate this attack. Please stop. There we go. Something I can actually punish. That is very good damage. Wow. Can I do Hitless Manus? Probably not. I'm probably just gonna get greedy or something. But it'd be cool. I guess it would be less cool than Hitless Manus with Whip, but would still feel good. Less cool than that time I did Manus Hitless while arguing with a transphobe. Wait. Gale eats canonically? Eats what? What are we referring to? Okay. Oh god. Ugh, I was totally expecting that to hit me. As long as I don't get greedy, this should be an easy hitless. Or, you know, mess up an easy dodge like that one. That was scary. I always suck at dodging that. I don't know why. He ate for sure. Oh wait, no, that's a combo. I forgot. Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. I think that's the wrong Gale. Oh god. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Unnecessarily scary. Can you do something I can punish, please? Thank you. Jeez. Oh, wow. Easy. Gale eating the blood of the Dark Soul? I thought that was like a metaphorical thing, you know? Alright, Dusk is fine. I just had to wake her up. Oh, Gale literally eats people? Estes wouldn't taste like fish? No, it would taste like fire. Because Estes is fire. Okay, so he literally ate people. So he literally ate the blood of the Dark Soul. I thought that was a metaphorical thing. Um, that took less time than I thought it was going to. I'm gonna go fight Calamite. He didn't metaphorically eat people. He literally ate people. I don't know. He could have just used like the Dark Hand or something. By eating it. I mean, in Dark Souls, you kind of just crush the humanity, right? And then humanity doesn't exist as an item ever again. Rat maxing. I've never even heard of Evergrace, honestly. It's probably forgotten about because it didn't do super well. I mean, based on me never hearing about it, it probably did worse than like Ninja Blade or something. I guess Ninja Blade also has the novelty and like the silliness factor about it, but I don't know. Gale is the best final boss? You and I have very different opinions. Gale sucks. I hate Gale. It's not even that I think Gale is bad. I just don't like fighting Gale because it's incredibly boring because all of his moves are super simple and easy to dodge. But because his combos change, it's frustrating, especially when you don't really like, especially the first time you fight him, when you don't know his combos are going to change or whatever. I do not like Gale. I don't know. Not a bad boss, but definitely not anywhere close to even my favorite final boss. I like Nashandra more. Just because it's like at least a kind of unique fight. It wouldn't necessarily require finding Koth. You would just need to like find a Dark Wraith and steal it, right? And there are several Dark Wraiths in Dark Souls 3. Okay. Nashandra is your wife? That's so cool. She attacks you. I like her laser beam attack. The curse orbs are also pretty cool. Like that sounded sarcastic. I genuinely mean that. I think it's a really cool attack. I don't know. Yeah, Aldia kind of sucks. Aldia's not even bad though. He's just kind of boring. I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna run back up. Just so I don't have to deal with dogs. Yeah, Nashandra's fine. I don't think she's like a especially good boss or whatever, but that goes for Gale for me too. And I don't like Gale more because of certain things. Like the projectiles that Gale has are so frustrating. No, I said I was going, or I said I wasn't going to, and then decided that because beating Manus didn't take as long as I was expecting that I was going to. Prowling, I guess, would have been an awesome final boss. Honestly, that's understandable. I have ADHD, so I totally relate. I genuinely just forget things that I said moments ago. I'm sure it's happened many times on stream. I'm gonna talk to not Calamite, what? I'm gonna talk to Goff, and then while the cutscene is playing, I'm gonna go pee. So, at least that way you have something to look at that isn't just like the bonfire screen or whatever. I'll figure if anything, that's the best time to do it. I do not like Soul Ascender either. Soul Ascender is a lot of attacks are just annoying, like the double spin attack or the charge is frustrating. I guess it's not that bad, but it's still annoying to deal with. Or like the combo in the second phase, the lightning throw, um, the homing soul mass status effect. I don't know. Okay, I will be right back.
Yes, a truer shot was never loosed. That bat will be grounded for a good spell. The rest is in thine hands. I await good tidings. Ah, dragon slaying, knighthood's highest calling.
I am back. Kalami is decent size for a bad dragon. The run is going pretty good. I only have Kalami and Gwyn left. 5 tons of sleek freak. I mean, look, dragons are definitely a good hear me out, but Kalami is 4 million kcal. Yeah, isn't boss room Calamite significantly smaller than cutscene Calamite? One of the funniest instances of things being bigger or smaller in cutscenes, I think, is Warframe, the Jackal boss. When you do like the final hit on it with the Parazon, I think. If you're playing in multiplayer, you'll see another player like get on top of it, but then it'll just shrink in the middle of the cutscene. It's funny. Kalami gets smaller because it's cold. All right. Calamite's pretty easy. Well, okay, easy is not the right word. Calamite is pretty consistent, I think. All right. The air conditioner turning on. You know, I've never really had that experience, and I'm glad to not have. I mean, the air conditioner. Oh my god, I forgot that he slides like that sometimes. Okay. The air conditioner has turned on, or has been on the whole time sometimes, but that is crazy damage. But I haven't had the shrink happen, so business doesn't happen without air conditioning. That's understandable. But being hot is part of the fun, you know? Like being all sweaty. Oh god. We're fine. Dang, I was kind of hoping that would hit. You know, I was about to say something like Calamite's neck hitboxes aren't that bad if you just roll backward, and then that happened. Usually it's not that bad. Okay. Good damage. Wow, okay, the running attack does about as much as the R2, Jesus. Okay. The rolling attack is, like, shockingly low damage-wise, but very useful in terms of, like, speed. Oh god. This might not end well. We're fine. It's fine. I like how the red eye isn't actually an eye. I think that's a really cool design decision. Are you the single-celled organism or is the cat? What does that mean? I didn't take it as a burn, but I also didn't understand it at all. Yeah, the sweating is part of it, exactly. Okay. The Gwyn time. That was really easy DLC. I'll have to use like the server or something to like actually answer the question in the title. I did not do Gwendolyn. I didn't do Gwendolyn, Priscilla, or Gaping Dragon. Single-celled cats. Okay. I guess that's a pretty normal thing. I also hate being sweaty, but if you have like a blanket or whatever down, it doesn't bother me that much. It's mostly just the getting other things dirty and having to deal with it afterward that bothers me. Okay, yeah. I have the hornet ring on. Cool. Is it the server that heals you with every attack, or is that something else? Because I know there's a curved sword that does that, right? Is that the butcher's knife? Is the butcher's knife a curved great sword? Actually, I don't remember. Server restores health. Okay, so that is the server. I don't know. My biggest thing with like being sweaty and all the other fluids happening is just like the afterward. Because like I don't like the texture, but during it's fine. It's just afterward. I need to clean up immediately, or I just feel awful. Butcher's is a great axe. Interesting. I need to do runs with those weapons. So Velka's next week, and then Dragon King Great Axe. I won't be streaming the first 2 weeks of September. I won't be home, so I won't be able to stream. Videos are still going to come out, obviously, but yeah. But then after that, I'll do Server and Butcher's Knife. I still think the funniest class shenanigans is the scythe. That's actually a... Why can't I remember what it's called? It's like my favorite weapon. The poleaxe. I don't remember what it's called. The scythe that's in the halberd class. That's not either a scythe or a halberd, but... No, it's not a glaive. One-handed heavy attacks? I have not. I feel like... Well, I mean, the two-handed heavies are pretty similar, right? You also get the... That's called a scythe. That's in the halberd class. Okay, that's not what I meant to use. That's not good. Ugh. Please. No. We're fine. Everything's good. Yeah, the scythe by the Titanite Demons and Sense Fortress. Everything's fine. Yeah, it's just called the scythe. There we go. That was kind of scary, but it's fine. All right. To answer the question posed in the title, I have no idea, but probably, considering the server is generally considered as not very good, and the Gravelord Greatsword also isn't very good. But I do want to try both of them. Age of Man? No, this is the Age of Woman. The first Freak of Cinder. All right. Thank you all for watching. This was a fun stream. I really like this weapon. That was fun. Highly recommend it. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all, and I don't know how to end this.